previously I mentioned that I was interested in becoming an instructor. So the best way to do it is to actually teach somebody. So before I get my certification, my sister decided that she wanted to learn how to shoot. So this is my sister. Say hi. Say hi.
I did.
Okay. So she has never shot before. We're going to start completely from scratch. We're going to go from zero to actually talking about safety rules. We're going to talk about how to hold the gun, and then she's going to put her first shots down range, and we'll see if I have what it takes to actually be able to do this. So let's go. First, safety rules that we're going to go through, okay? So as you can see, this is already pointing that way. This is completely empty. So rule number one of shooting in a range is you always want to make sure the gun is pointed downrange. Uprange is facing this way, downrange is where the target is, okay? So always faces this way. So even if you're shooting and you have a question, always make sure that you face it this way, okay? The second rule is do not put your finger on the trigger unless you actually plan on shooting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You don't want to hold it like this if you're not ready to shoot, just in case. So you want to always make sure when you hold it, finger completely straight until you're actually ready to let it go, then you can pull it. Third, if you're going to pass this to me, or you have a question or you want to do anything, or if it stops working, either just put it down, or if the magazine is inside, you're going to push this button, take this out, you're going to make sure there's nothing inside of it, and then you can either pass it to me facing that way or just put it down. Same thing, okay? In regards to range rules, that's pretty much it. You just don't point it at anybody, keep your finger off the trigger. Any questions?
Okay, so don't kill anybody. Good.
What?
So don't kill anybody. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. What I'm gonna show you is I didn't load these on purpose because I wanna show you how to load it. For this, the easiest way to do it is you just push this down. This is by a spring. You push this down and you slide it all the way back. Just make sure that this isn't protruding in the front. You want to push it all the way back.
Okay.
Now from here, the easiest way to do it is you take your left thumb, push the back of it down, and you take this part, the back of this, push the front of it down at the same time, and you do the same thing. So just put a couple in there. So this is a lip. That's why you have to push it down here and then slide it backwards. Hold on. So look, you see how this is too big? Mm-hmm. So you need to push this down from the front and then slide it back. People do. That's why I showed you this, because it's actually not as easy as it looks. Okay, so here, I'll show you one more time. So hold this, use this to push this down, and then slide it back. There you go. Try another one. So now you do the same thing, except use your left thumb to push the back of that one down. You got it. So try not to get your whole thumb in the way. Only use that to push the back. There we go. And then use this. You see this ledge right here? Mm-hmm. You just want this to be like right behind the bronze piece. I believe in you.
If I had to load a gun in a life or death situation.
Okay, there we go. You got it.
Oh, I did it.
So laying it down flat. So this is something that is actually important because a lot of people, like when they first start shooting, they have a really hard time doing this. Your hands are going to get dirty, okay? And it actually does take a little bit of strength. So this is not the easiest thing to do, but I wanted to make sure you knew, okay? To actually load it, there's two different ways. You have what's called a slide release, or you can just pull it straight back. So you can either lock this back, which when you shoot and it's empty, this is what's supposed to happen, okay? When you put this in here, you can see this, and then you would push this button down and it's gonna push it forward, okay? But if it's not loaded, usually what you would do is you would do like this, and then you would pull this all the way back and then let it go forward, okay? But you see how, notice how my finger is completely straight the entire time. So if I do this, it's completely loaded. And the way to check, you pull it back a little bit, you see how you can see the round in there? So that's usually how you check. It's called a brass check. So you check, make sure you see brass, and you're good to go. I'm gonna have you do everything at once. But so now, this has what's called a trigger safety. If you look, there's no safety switch, there's nothing to turn it on or off. There's no palms or grip safety, it's just this. So this, if you don't push the button, it won't squeeze. Make sure it's safe. If you push the middle button down and you push all the way down, then it'll press, okay? So when you're actually holding it, you wanna make sure that your finger covers the entire button. So now how you're actually gonna hold it. You're gonna take the biggest part of your hand, like the webbing of your hand, and you're gonna wedge it as high as you can in here. What a lot of people do is they hold a little bit too low. And then the reason why you don't want this space is because it's gonna kick back, and if the more space you have, the more space you have to let it go, okay? And it's gonna start to move. So you want this as far up in there as you can get. You're gonna wrap your bottom 3 fingers around the bottom. Obviously my hands are a little bit bigger than yours, so do your best. And then this finger will just stay straight. Even if your finger's all the way back here, it's fine. Just as high up as you can, wedge it in there. When you're shooting, you actually wanna have a strong grip. You don't wanna just hold it, because remember, it's gonna move and you wanna control it. So in here, with these 3 fingers, you wanna actually squeeze, okay? Now with your other hand, there's a couple ways to do it. For me, my hands are big enough to where I can completely wrap around. I always tell everybody, you wanna rotate your hand forward to where your thumb is pointing completely straight, like this. The reason why is because this is what I call your guide hand. So even if I'm going to shoot and I'm not actually aiming, I know that this is straight. So like, I don't even have to look, and I know my sights are aligned, okay? You're gonna wrap all these 4 fingers under, put your thumb. Don't put it here because you don't wanna obstruct the slide. So you rotate it down also so that this kind of sits along the groove, which is why this is like this. It's a grip for your thumb, okay? So this is what the grip looks like, okay? Now, when you're actually trying to aim it, you have your rear sights, you have your front sight. So to make sure everything is aligned, is you wanna make sure these 3 are all straight, okay? So like, what it'll look like is like this. If this is like this, you're aiming low. If it's like this, you're aiming high. You want everything to be completely level. Then once it's all level, you only look at the front. You don't actually look at your target when you're shooting. If you look at your target when you're shooting, you're gonna shoot in circles, because you're not actually, like, you're basically just, you're aiming around what you're looking at. I don't know how it happens. I'll probably learn that in the class. I guess we'll figure that part out. I personally know how to shoot with both eyes open. You don't have to. When you're first learning, it's okay to learn how to shoot with one. Eventually, you need to learn how to shoot with both eyes open for situational awareness, because remember, if I have my left eye closed, I can't see anything over there. So for situational purposes, having both eyes open is more beneficial, okay? Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab it, finger straight, okay? Here, do you want me to shoot first? So here, grab it, you're gonna load one in. You don't have to brass check it as long as it goes all the way forward. I usually do, just because it's a force of habit. Then I'm gonna grip, line everything up. That's it. It didn't lock because I took this out, okay? So whenever you're done shooting, just put it down. That's it. As far as your stance, right? I'm obviously just showing you real quick, so I'm just kind of like whatever. But ideally, you wanna have your feet, the front of your foot, lined up with the middle of your foot, and you want more weight on this back foot. And then when you stand, you don't wanna like lean back or lean forward. You could lean forward a little bit if you want to, but I tend to like, some people overdo it. Some people also shoot like this. I usually just like to stand up a little bit straight, bend my knees, slight forward lean. And now when your arms, you want them, you don't wanna be here. This is gonna give you the most stability. And also, if everything is straight, maybe soft bend. If everything is straight and your hands are straight, everything is always gonna be pointed straight. Any questions?
No.
Your 2 rounds, you're gonna put them in here, you're gonna rack it back, and you're gonna shoot. So remember, you're a righty, so switch hands. There we go.
Pull it back.
Remember, always point it down. Yep, so pull it back all the way and then let it go.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. So pull the top all the way back and then let it go. There you go. Remember, high firm, squeeze, make sure you're squeezing hard with these fingers. And this side, you basically wanna squeeze it as hard as you can until it starts shaking, and then let it go a little bit. Does that make sense? So you actually wanna make sure that your hands are tight. You don't wanna have them loose. So squeeze pretty much as hard as you can.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. And you bring it up, fix your feet. Remember, your stance is where everything starts. And then whenever you're ready, you can put your finger on the trigger. Holy shit, that was dead center. Yo, that was dead center. What the fuck? Yo, all right, do it again, do it again, do it again.
I have to rack it back again?
No, so the last round is in there. So when you shoot the last time, it'll lock to the rear because the magazine is in there. was not bad. All right, let's bring it in. Let's see. How'd that feel?
Nice.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I get more anxiety watching. Holy shit. Right, so my first shot was here and here, and her first shot was here and here.
I'm a natural.
That's pretty good. So if you guys notice, I didn't mention anything about the trigger pull, right? A lot of guys, when they first instruct, right, they always say, oh, squeeze it slow, let it surprise you. I want it to be natural. I want you to take your time. Most beginners are going to end up pulling it slowly anyway because it's the anticipation and the fear. So I want it to be natural because then you kind of gauge your own pace. I don't want you to like squeeze super slow and then like you don't actually know what the time is, so you have to feel it on your own. So that's something where I personally will correct later if I notice that there's an issue. Obviously she shot completely straight, so that made it a lot easier. So that means her trigger control was good, her grip was good, everything was good. And considering that she has pretty small hands, like you could kind of see the kick, but she was able to hold on to it and everything was good. So is there anything you'd like to say?
No.
You can shoot more if you want.
Yeah, I do want to shoot more actually.
All right, cool. So now you know how to load the magazines, and that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna let her shoot more. I'm gonna leave her be. I'll correct her if needed. But that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.